Welcome to the Curate Your Life podcast with Temetria, where we focus on curating the life you've been dreaming of, one goal at a time, so that you can make the rest of your life the best of your life. Okay, y'all. So yes, after I'm done with this podcast, I am immediately going to go and enter the Miss Texas pageant and put the big hair to work. And if you are a listen-only person on the podcast, you will have to come over to the YouTube channel if you want to know what is going on with the hair, but I promise you that it will be worth it. I will add the link to the show notes for the YouTube channel. So yesterday, I decided to straighten my hair. I am curly. If you've seen pictures of me, you know, curly girl. But I've just been feeling like a change, which is kind of apropos for what we're going to talk about during the podcast. But I've been feeling like a change, so I decided to straighten my hair. I live in Texas. It's humid. I know that some things are going to maybe not go my way. So then I decided that I was going to put curlers in it. Not like old-fashioned pink curlers, but I have these curler things that you use. And so this morning, when I took them out, Miss Texas. So there you go. So that's what that is all about. It's early in the day. I do not know what it will look like at the end of the day because, again, humidity, natural hair, we'll see what happens. It will probably get bigger, if you can imagine that. So we're just going to roll with it today. But what we came here to talk about and what we will stay focused on is this time of year. I want to talk about this kind of September, back to school, fall, this time of year, and all the things that it brings to mind and the feelings that it brings. So if you're like me, this time of year is all about kind of new beginnings and new possibilities and a time to learn new things and set new goals. Really kind of a blank slate going into fall. And I am 56, out of school. I don't have any kids going back to school, but it is still a feeling for me like this time of year. And I think it was just because it held so much possibility, right? And there was always a blank slate, a new year, new things to achieve. You got new school clothes, new hairdos and haircuts sometimes. And I always loved the books where the new kid would move into town during the summer and then they would start school and they were the new person and, you know, maybe they made a friend during the summer, but in the new school, they had a whole new identity. They got to write their story, right? They didn't bring any of the labels that they had or the identities that they had from their previous life. It was a new beginning. Or the books where over the summer, somebody had, normally it was a woman or a girl, had a big transformation. And then when she came back to school the next year, no one recognized her. And I think it was more than the haircut or the new clothes or losing the glasses. It was who they felt they became, the story that they were telling themselves, the identity that they had stepped into that was really showing up and giving the vibes, is what the kids say now. It was how they carried themselves. It was the energy of who they were, who they had become or transformed into over the summer. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Is what identity do you need to step into to have the life that you want? And I'm not asking you to become somebody else, but what version of you do you need to step into to become the you that's living your dream life? One of the things that I ask my clients to think about when they're thinking about the life that they want to create is who do you have to become to create that life? So let me just give you an example. If I'm working with a client who wants to become a successful real estate agent, then she has to ask herself, what does a successful real estate agent do? What habits do they have? What knowledge do they have? So what do I need to take on? What do I need to do to step into being a professional real estate agent. You have to go get the knowledge, right? You have to get the learning, but you also have to become the person who identifies as an expert. And I'm not just saying, go say I'm a real estate expert and be done with it. Gather the knowledge, get the learning, surround yourself with people who can help you and who can give you information and who you can learn from. But also be the person who's willing to say to somebody who doesn't know real estate, hey, I know this, and share the knowledge. Be the expert to that person, because if you've gone through getting your real estate license and you've taken the test and you're starting to study things, you are going to be ahead of that person who just wants to buy a house and who hasn't done any of that work, who doesn't know the market. Become that person, step into that identity, do the things that you need to do to be the real estate professional and expert. Act as if. And that is different from fake it until you make it. That is not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm telling you to do is to do the things necessary to become that person, and to believe while you're doing those things that you are that person, because every step you take is getting you closer to that persona. So thinking about the fact that we have just over a quarter of the year left, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to step into? What do you want to start to create for yourself? Use this energy from this time of year to really let this be a new beginning for you. So what I want you to do first to start this is to, one, you've heard this before, but I'm telling you, if you follow these steps, if you really go through this process, you can create the life that you want. So I want you to first sit down and give yourself time to think about it, to dream about it, to let it be. Not just in your mind, but I'm telling you, write it out on paper so you can see it, so you can see that person, that life that you want to have. And then start to think about the things in your life now that don't fit that vision, and start to eliminate those things, or ask yourself if they can be changed or if they will somehow help you get to that vision. And if not, eliminate them. And then ask yourself what you need to bring in or start doing to get to the vision, or learn to get to the vision that you've created. It is as simple as that. It's being laser focused on the vision and on the things that will create that vision, and moving everything else out. That is the way that you will create the life that you want, that you will step into that persona that you want to become. So when I say that, if you have the vision of being a successful real estate person, agent, then when you ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do? Look at a person who's done what you want to do and ask yourself, what does that person do? What habits do they have? How do they show up in the world? What are their non-negotiables? Like, what must be done no matter what? And then think about the things that they're not doing. So I hope you will take a moment and really kind of step into the energy of this feeling right now, the back to school, the fall, and all the possibilities, and really think about what you want to create for your life in the future, and start to move towards that, start to take the actions toward that. And I would love to help you. That's what I do with my clients. We sit down and we look at their vision for their life, and we figure out how to create that. I guide them through that process of those 3 steps, the curate your life process. Create the vision, eliminate what doesn't fit, bring in what fits. And part of my job is to help them get through the what ifs and the mind drama and the obstacles that come up, so that they can create the life that they love. And I want to share with you now that I'm working on some things for the near future for the Curate Your Life process, and some things that will help you curate all areas of your life. So stay tuned for that. More details to come. So just know that you can live a life that you love, a life that you're excited about living, a life that brings you energy and lights a fire in your soul, and that radiates that out to others. A life that is an example to other people for what's possible. Anything is possible. So if you have questions, if you need help, you can always schedule a consultation. The link is in the show notes, and I would love to help you. Until next time.